Every day when he got up, the first thing Phil did was to smash the alarm clock. When he was in a good mood, he would push it to the ground, and when he was in a bad mood, he would just smash it. But no matter how Phil smashed it, he would still be woken up by the same alarm clock at 6 o'clock every day, because Phil was trapped in an infinite loop and woke up on the same day every day. If you know this man, you will think that he deserves it. It has been a long time since I saw such an annoying male protagonist. Phil is a TV anchor, probably in his 40s, but his personality is still that of a giant baby. When he reports the news, his expression seems to say that the news is not worthy of him. When Phil talks to people, he seems to be saying, "You guys are not good enough for me." Phil has a vicious mouth and is sarcastic all the time. His colleagues follow him on the surface, but they are upset when they see him. February 2nd of every year is the day Phil hates the most, because on this day every year, he has to go to a small town to report on Groundhog Day, which is a traditional festival in the United States. The way to celebrate the festival is that a group of people surrounded a stump where a groundhog was locked up, knocked on the door of the groundhog's tree hole, and then forced the groundhog out. And people put their ears close to the groundhog. The groundhog was stared at by hundreds of people, and was so scared that he didn't even dare to fart. But this group of people didn't care at all, but pretended to hear the groundhog's speech, and then announced to everyone that our groundhog predicted that the weather would be good in the future. This is too stupid. Phil also felt so. He felt that the whole town was full of idiots. Phil just wanted to get it done quickly and go home quickly. At 6 o'clock on the day of the business trip, Phil was awakened by the hotel alarm clock. When he went out, he met a fat guy who was not very smart. When he went downstairs, he met a boss lady who knew nothing. Everyone was very enthusiastic, but he was the only one who was cold. When he saw an old beggar on the street, Phil pretended to touch his pocket. A man rushed over to recognize him. He was an old classmate he had not seen for many years. Phil had no feelings and no emotions. He smiled a few times and walked away. As a result, he stepped into a puddle. Phil came to the square with his icy pants hanging down. His colleagues were already waiting for him. He lost his temper at his female colleague, cursing these country people, cursing the stinky rat, cursing the ignorant culture, and cursing the stupid world. When the main activities of the festival began, Phil reported perfunctorily, "Okay, the mission was over, and he had to retreat quickly and leave here. The farther the better." Unfortunately, a severe cold wave blew into the town, and a blizzard came, blocking the way back. Phil was trapped here, and now he really wanted to cry but had no tears. The next day, at 6 a.m., Phil woke up and looked out the window. Oh my god, the snow had melted overnight. What a joke! How could it be so fast? When he went out, he met the same fat guy again. Phil asked him suspiciously if he was a prankster. Seeing that the fat guy didn't answer, he grabbed him and asked, "Are you kidding me?" But the fat guy was still confused.